Good evening, everyone. It is August 14th, 2023, and we've had pretty much what I was looking for. I mentioned last night that what I was looking for was a rotation upwards. I was saying on the NQ, I think we would reclaim this kind of 140s area, get up to 260. I think you end up putting the in the high of the day, somewhere around 280. And on the ES, similar story. I was saying I doubt that we break these lows. Instead, I'm looking for rotation to 4,500. Now, when I made that video, um, we had not done this spike during the external trading hours. So I was actually leaning towards a more balanced session. I didn't think we'd be able to pop up to 07s or 10s. I was looking for a high of the day somewhere between the overnight high and 07 to 10, but I thought it'd be a much more balanced session. I got long 73s personally. Now, moving forward, what am I looking at for tomorrow? Well, today had some pretty shitty breadth. So today, to me, all this was, look, on Mondays, it's rare that we break down significantly. It's rare that we make a large move on a Monday to any notable changes in structure on a Monday. So that was off the gate why I was leaning towards being long. The breadth was crappy all day. Doesn't mean we're in for some sort of huge sell-off, but it means the move up to me just felt like a blow-off of inventory. That's all it felt like to me. We were unable to break the overnight low. Instead, we held settlement lows. We broke the IB high really strongly, broke the overnight high. Uh, and then it was just, this balance between last week's halfback and the VWAP close, the weekly VWAP close, all that sort of stuff around 4502-ish, my level here. And balancing between there and uh, the initial balance highs right around 88. So that was also kind of the key level here. You can see right around here. That's where we kept holding. So to me, I don't see this as a notable change in structure just yet. I was saying ideally the shorts hold us here. Ideally the shorts were going to hold us between, yeah, sure, about 93 to 06, something like that. And now they're caught a little bit offside. Numbers for tomorrow, we do have retail numbers cutting the market pre-market. Here on the NQ, we are right at the spot that I don't want to see sellers reclaiming. Right now, getting rejected, falling in line with that downward sloping trend line. We're back at that major 331 to kind of 370-ish, 353-ish level here, this zone, 315 to 353. So what I want to see, what I think shorts want to see is a rejection here coming back below this 264 area, back below 240, and then start to make our way downwards once again. Same thing on the ES. I think we want to see a move back below 4,500, get back below this balance little level here thing at 4588-ish, and then start making our way downwards, break this trend line, start getting below this trend line as well. Start to really get that downward momentum. So overall, I think we're in for a quieter Globex session, given that there's some decently major news tomorrow at 8:30. So I think that's what we're going to be waiting on. Now, in terms of trades, how am I looking at this? Well, currently, we've done a pretty good job of so far gapping up. We've traded 10, 11 points above the 4 p.m. close there, 4507. So I would be willing to take the gap close long if the overnight high is broken. If the overnight low breaks instead, I think this ends up being a short for a return back to the low. So I think you could get short where we had our major resistance for pretty much since Thursday, right around this whole number kind of thing, 01s to 98s. Below there, I think it's worthwhile to try some longs, 93s or 89s, somewhere around there. 89s after a tag of the 85, so this kind of point of control from this auction over here, right there. If you break below here, I think you went. Sorry, if you break this auction here, 85s. If you get below here, I think you're back to this balance to something like there you go, something like this. I think you're back into this zone. You get back into 78. You potentially have some sort of mini liquidation, if you want to call it that, breaking today's low of the day, the RTH low, and getting into more so last week's low around 59s. So to the upside, I think 26s are your major short, and then from about 36 to 45, if we crack this, if we crack last week's high, this thing is starting to get some serious lift. You're looking at At that point, you're going to be considering this playing out, this 45-65 area. That is the scenario that starts to come to mind. If we break this green zone here, going up to 45, this 26 to 45 area, if we break this, we are entering this little pivot here, this upper balance. We're entering this, and I would keep my eye on 56 to 65. Now, Nasdaq, how am I looking to trade this? Are my lines on here? No. Let's remove these, get the new lines up uh, from the short side, and then going downwards. Uh, I think your highest spot you want to be short is 470s. Maybe I should throw this on a 5-minute chart so you guys can see. That's pretty much right around the high of the week from last week. I think above there, it ends up being your first ramp over the weekly high in a lot of weeks. So you're fighting some serious momentum. Below there, 433 is kind of the CPI high roughly. There was also another auction down below at what is that, 411 and a half. So scroll this thing down a bit, somewhere around here. That would be the other place I'd be looking to get short off kind of these CPI highs where we trapped some longs below, and you have the main short zone I'm interested in and where we're currently selling off of, which is this kind of 342 to 330, or sorry, 370 to 331 area. This has been the major level for a while. What more do you need to see? Multiple daily lows getting bid off of it, kind of churn around it during the CPI and then selling off aggressively. Below there, I would be interested in a long, same situation as the ES if we have gapped up and the overnight highs broken. Below, and I think you can short this thing. I think the temporary short cover strength that we've had will be broken. You get back below these major highs from today's session. I think you might get a temporary bid off of 221s, kind of the auction point of control here that sent us upwards. I think you get a temporary move up, but overall, I would see it as a rejection of this area here and a move down below, failing to hold the gap as well. Below, I think this is the primary area you want to be long, which is 161s to 146. Maybe I should zoom out to make this clear. Reason being is that it's this right here. It is these lows right about here. These are the critical lows that we reclaimed today. You can see it rejected there, reclaimed it today, moved upwards. So if we get back below these critical lows, I think you have shorts back in control. So that low coming in right here is 146.5, and therefore I will be looking to get long at 146.5. This one only saying 155s as there is the little auction point of control there. Below, and I think you are looking, just like on the ES, I think you're looking at a mini liquidation scenario. I'm aware of 101s. I think that'd be a nice area to perhaps try a quick scalp long, but I think in general you are fighting some major momentum at that point, and I don't think the move would be to be long. Perhaps you find something way down here, but in general I think you're getting into some knife-catchy scenarios. So in general for tomorrow, interested in this area here, pretty much last week's high to 331s to get short, some temporary longs if we have a gap and overnight high break, and right around here, I think this will be your major area to get long. But in general, if this gap doesn't hold, I think you're fighting momentum. I think this holds on a short. I think you're going to come down and rotate downwards. Similarly on the ES, I think your primary area to get short is about 26.5 to 45 above there, and again, you're fighting some pretty major momentum. You're probably coming up towards the 65-ish area, which again kind of confirms the breakout off these lows. I would be looking similar, gap close long. Other than that, looking to get short if the overnight low is broken. Temporary longs here around 93 to 89, but once again, you are fading some decent momentum coming from the shorts. I would not be looking to get long anywhere in here. I think you might be in for a little bit of a crap out scenario. 9 minutes, can never do this in under 10. Hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. I don't know. Retail sales pre-market at 8:30. Maybe this thing shakes up a little bit, but I'm not looking for any sort of crazy moves for the majority of the overnight. We're now in the third week of August, August 14th. What would that be? Yeah, third week of August. You know, this is typically the time when everything settles down from here until roughly the end of the month. So perhaps trade a little bit accordingly to that. Anyway, have a good night. Trade safe.